So have you noticed lately that people's relationship to food and their needs for food are really changing? Hi, my name is Kira of the Eagle Institute, and I've noticed a lot of people that, pretty much have been on a path where they're working on their consciousness, they're working on themselves, have started to gain a lot of weight, and or they're just not eating very much. And this is because how we're getting energy and what we need for energy is really changing. So I first started talking about this in about 2011, so that's quite some time ago. And I would do it at the gym. I would joke, do it in a joking manner, but it was true. I would say to my trainer and anybody else who was around me or anybody that I ate with, I'm turning into a plant. I run on sunshine and water. I don't need to eat very much. And I was eating very, very small amounts relative to the amount of exercise I was doing, as well as, how well I felt. And I had a lot of energy. And, people would say, oh, you need to eat more, you're starving yourself, but I wasn't. I was eating what my body needed and I was listening. So what I didn't recognize at the time was that I had significant training by that time already in pranayama. I was a yoga teacher. I was highly trained in 2 styles of yoga that really work on breath work, Scaravelli yoga and Kundalini yoga. And I was a certified teacher in the Scaravelli tradition. And to do that, I had to do regular breath practice. Now, on top of that, I'd had mindfulness training and mindful exercise, and breath practice within my exercise was a huge part of my meditation practice. So I was doing sitting meditations with breath work, as well as athletic meditations and mindfulness in action with breath work. So I was getting a ton of breath work in my regular days. So of course I wasn't exercising every day, but I probably was averaging 5 to 6 times a week, and for minimum an hour at a time. So that was quite a bit. So as you purify consciousness, you do not need to eat as much. Now, whether we like it or not, we're in a time period where our consciousness is being purified. Our society is advancing so that all of us are letting go of things from the past, which means that all of us have lighter energy and don't need to eat as much. And that is accelerating at a pretty fast pace, actually, for everybody, especially people that have been working on themselves. So you do not need to eat as much as you did before. And things that were conventional healthy diets from the past just are too much, and they're not the right thing anymore. So what I've received psychically is that why we are eating now is to stay grounded and not necessarily for the actual energy, and also to balance the body with specific nutrients. So that's the easiest way for the body to do it. What we're moving into now is breath as an energy source. And that has always been true. If you look back, like in almost all the meditation styles, but especially like the yogas, go back through the yoga and the pranayama, that was done to give you energy. And when you did a lot of it, it was purifying and it gave you energy. So what's happening with people, and I want to give you some tools here. There's the 2 aspects. There's, first of all, what do you eat as you go through this transition? And the second of all is, how do you use breath to support that? So it's like the food's coming down and the breath's coming up. So how do you balance this as it's happening? So with food, eating intuitively is extremely important. Diets and following diets, even if they worked great for you, even as little as a few months ago, not gonna work now. You need to listen to your body. So how I do this and how I've done this for years is I ask my body, what does it need now? And I follow that. And yeah, you might make some mistakes along the way. And yes, people will say, oh, well, all I'm gonna do is like eat junk food. No, you won't, because if you're eating intuitively, your body will say, oh, I want an apple, or I want some celery, or I want some rice, or I want an orange, or orange juice specifically, or orange juice with pineapple in it. You'll start to tune into what that is. The other part of it is if you're eating emotionally, which I mostly have over that, but I do go through periods where I'm processing emotion, or something comes up and I get triggered and I eat emotionally. So how do you deal with that? Well, the truth is you're probably doing that now anyways. So how you deal with that mindfully and in a way that can get over it is you acknowledge the emotion before you eat. And this is extremely effective, or even as you eat. So I've gone through times when, I'm like, I'm really angry right now. I want to eat, XYZ. Usually it's whatever's in the fridge, and usually something crunchy. So I'll say, I'm feeling really angry. And I'll say, I'm eating right now because I feel angry. And I'll tell myself that. And I'm like, and it's okay. But I acknowledge that why I'm eating right now is because I'm angry, and I do it anyways. And then that starts to dissipate. And then after a while, you can either stay with the emotion without eating, or the emotion stops. You stop getting triggered by it, especially if you're doing other pranayama techniques, because it helps clear that stuff. So really eating intuitively, meaning that you're eating mindfully. You're paying attention to what you really need. Now, how does the breath work fit in with this? Well, you get energy from breathing as well, and we always have. It's just that it wasn't very well understood. We do know that it purifies the body, but it also is an energy source, especially the oxygen. So pranayama, or breath practice, which also means life force practice, is an important part of that. So learning to do that consciously. What a good pranayama practice works like vitamins. First of all, there's the overall health. Are you breathing properly? And I can know as an elite athlete, and especially in a sport that I came from that's all about breath and having good lung capacity, which was swimming, and having to control breath, you don't always learn that. You learn possibly how to breathe to do your sport correctly. You may develop overall aerobic capacity, but very rarely do we learn to breathe healthily. And I've worked with quite a few elite athletes now that were able to tremendously improve their athletic performance, improve their focus, and some of them also really deal with, some of the emotional strain that comes with high intense training, because that training creates, even if you're doing it recreationally and not as a professional or elite athlete, you can create a lot of strain in your body through aerobic activity unintentionally. So you need to learn how to get rid of that. So the purpose of breath is to be a purifier as well as a source of energy. Now, pranayama techniques, there's more than 200 of them, and there's combinations, so it's probably way beyond that do specific things. They can heat your body up, they can cool your body down, they can make it so that you have more energy, they can calm you down, they can help you fall asleep, they can help you stay awake. They purify different organs in your body, your liver, your kidneys, your lymph. So the list goes on and on and on. So they're kind of like vitamins for your body. So you can think of your food vitamins, but you also have different breath techniques that are like energy vitamins. And it's really important, if we're going to learn to be more pranic and live pranic lifestyle, even if we continue to eat, to manage this properly. So this is something that you can do no matter where you are at any time. So, why not take advantage of it and learn to do it properly? But it's also going to be really important, because this is going to be a really important part of, how we get our energy as humans. So if you have any questions about this, or you want to learn more about it, drop your comments below. I will continue to answer them. I think you're going to see a lot more on this over the next 5 years, especially as people's food needs really start to change. And I'd like to support you on that. Again, if you have any questions, or you want to learn how to do it, let me know. I love teaching this to people.